The obscene dilemma of Joey Marshall. Food is the primary task. The wine it dripped from chubby cheeks, such is the story of all meeks, and such is the obscene story that will create a solace and deep worry. Joey Marshall was insatiable, and with women he was quite able. However, there was a love far truer. It was his only real ruler. Feast upon feast he would dream, thinking only about the cake's whipped cream. And so came the fateful day in which he gave the final say. Jealously his wife did ask whether the food was the primary task. Joey then turned to her with sausage and fries in hand. Food is the only thing I demand. And thus the wife left his side. It became hard for him to hide. Metal strife. There came a time of strife for Joey Marshall and his wife. They departed their separate ways, and so the story plays. Food and wine was Joey's love, and so he left his beloved dove. With tears sweet as honey, he wiped the whipped cream with his money, and prepared for the task at hand. He wanted to form his band. For tryouts he did go, as a singer he would show. The sugar and the cream made it hard for him to scream, and from the metal band he took a bow. What was Joey Marshall to do this evening except engage?
Comedy and a caramel swim. After the sorrowful feast had passed, Joey Marshall stunningly gasped. An idea had come to him while in a bathtub caramel swim. The comedy will provide the peace, and I shall only eat cake apiece. He declared, struggling to leave his bath, he might just call his friend Seth. Leaping from chips-infested bedsheets, he took his pencil and some spreadsheets. Joke upon joke was written, and his friend Seth was kindly smitten. I admire your fervor, Marshall Joey, you're truly not a big fat phony. Seth booked a gig for his friend with a sketchy figure known to be a fiend. Joey's jokes came to naught, and to his table cake was brought. I could go for some burgers and some gravy, maybe after I won't feel so heavy. The little things. Think of the little things like yogurt and bread twigs, or maybe pizza with gravy. It can all be quite savvy. There is little I love as much than the smell of baked pie. 'Twas always such, they could always catch my eye. Food is my lover, onion rings and liver. Feasting is my passion, and I firmly love this direction. Food is the life I wanted. What if on an island I was stranded? Hunger is the enemy of Marshall Joey, and you all know that he ain't no phony. So give me some gravy and sweet chili on top. I will apply for the Navy or any other job. Anne Hiskey. Sweet honey mixed whiskey dripped from the chubby cheeks of a girl named Anne Hiskey, another member of the Meeks. Day after day she scrubbed her body with honey, while her friends borrowed her the money. She loved the smell of sweets in the air, and even how sticky was her hair. Dinner after dinner she chugged waffles, and all kinds of honey-filled truffles, until a day came carrying a new dilemma. Her friends had left, searching for a girl named Emma. Alone and disseminated, her former friends she hated. Walking on her way from Arby's, she came across the smell of Joey's. They looked with faint smiles and walked towards each other. It might have seemed like miles, but for a regular man, it would not be a bother. They talked and talked until they ordered. With sweets in food they were then smoldered. Love had been born to the sound of a horn, or maybe it was all in their heads. The wedding and the aftermath. Joey Marshall is my name, and this here stands my wife. No one listened all the same, but this was the end of Joey's love strife. A romance was born in honey and whiskey with the lovely girl named Anne Hiskey. Dancing and skipping they went, and the wedding tables slowly bent. A tumble and a rumble was heard, food flying and dropping, but they were stable. Joey was happy like a little bird, similar to the gravy-topped chicken on the table. Married songs went off in the night. A new morning would be ever so bright. The smell of eggs and bacon was for all a sight like a beacon. There was a certain skill to Madame Hiskey. She could bring a tear to any eye. Maybe it was the overly sweet whiskey. She could quite quickly say goodbye. Strife had returned to the life of Marshal Joey, and he would in turn spend his day a phony. No longer would he fall for love and dance. He would leave nothing to chance. Food and money were the only way to make his enormous buttocks sway. Hello guys and gals, poetry lovers. Thank you for listening to this short mini album of poetry I made. I hope you liked the story of Joey Marshall so far. This isn't the end of his story, there will be several parts coming after this. And just to be sure, I wanted to talk about what I've written. I wanted to ensure you that this wasn't created to make fun of obese people. It wasn't made to offend anyone. I just wanted to have some fun with creating a new character, or several new characters, of telling you a story. Because I believe that even obesity, over-drinking, overeating, and all those things are psychological problems that you can't deal with as easily as just, stop eating. It's like alcoholism or smoking or, any kind of running away from your problems. So in this case, you don't run away from your problems, you eat them, basically. And I wanted to present this in somewhat of a funny kind of story. Joey Marshall's story will end in a couple of weeks, and I hope at the end of it you'll have a great new character to talk about. And after that I aim to create some new characters and some new stories. They aren't all going to be about obesity or anything like that. I would like them to have some kind of humor in them and some kind of funny aspect to them. However, if it seems like in the future people are getting offended by this, well, I can't really promise that I'll stop, because it's just a story, it's just a created character, and through him I would like to discuss some problems that people have. Maybe we will have discussions, and that's basically it, I guess. Thank you for listening to the poetry album I made again, and see you next time. Goodbye.